Hi, guys. Welcome to the podcast today. 2024, awesome. Today, we're going to go over all the things you need to do to make a massive change in your 2024 and do it instantaneously, from exercise to nutrition to temperature adjustment, yin and yang energies, and then ultimately changing what we know as a fractal pattern so that you can instantly affect change today and moving into every day into the new year. Very exciting. All these mechanisms, from exercise to food to sleeping patterns, temperature patterns, all this will be spoken over, and we'll give you a formula on how you create that strategy for 2024. And don't forget to stay to the end of the video, and we'll go over a quick exercise just to ramp up your energy centers. Enjoy the video. Those who look for faults have no virtue. Those who come to know it do not rely on learning. Those who rely on learning do not come to know it. The sage sees the world as an expansion of his own self. So what need does he have to accumulate things? By giving to others, he gains more and more. By serving others, he receives everything. Heaven gives all things turn out for the best. The sage lives, and all things go as the Tao goes. All things move as the wind blows. Giving is receiving. All is one. One is all. Perfection manifest. That is your gift. That is your offering. Welcome to the consciousness of the way. My divine delectable co-host, High Priestess Jadis.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year for some. We'll call it the fake Happy New Year. But ours is coming around soon enough.
It is.
But let's just get all in. We're all in on this one. And Happy New Year to all of you beautiful, profound people. And I'm your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn. Happy days are here again. Na, 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 na. So, wowzy. 2024, it was a banger. Mm-hmm. You know, Lao Tzu came in with a pretty profound prediction for 2024. I do sometimes feel a little pressure and heat from his entertaining our infantile questions about how man should really, where are we going, what is going on, what's happening to humanity. It's like a grain of sand asking the beach, what do you think? Do I look fat? I mean, come on now. So on a bigger picture, because of this kind of cycle, in a nutshell, Lao Tzu was very clear. Realize that you are consciousness on a much bigger level. All these things will equalize. The vibration, the frequency shift clearly, because this is the universe. We are the universe. If I am you and you are me, and all things are consciousness, all things are universe, then the sun isn't worrying about whether the earth is wearing a G-string today. So, bigger picture. I mean, I was really blown away by Lao Tzu's response to that. It helped everyone that received that message, and they continue because it's a 2024 prediction, that, you know, things will just align. The frequency is going to shift. In essence, the consciousness is going to be raised. What does that mean? I mean, I'm hearing all these types of predictions. Today is an incredible podcast that we're going to go over all things to change your life right here, right now, enter a new year and make it a banger. Make it badass. Level up. We're going to give you techniques and tips today that you can walk away from this podcast and implement immediately and make a change in your life, because we're all about change. We're all about healing. We're all about consciousness. And today is the day.
It is the day.
Oh, yeah, baby. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these predictions, and, we get deeper into OBEs and NDEs, astral projection, psychic, medium, channeling, blah, 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 sensory perception, all of the above. We're releasing all our stuff in the next 24 hours for the new year. It's time to get it on. It's time to get it up. We're doing our expo at the end of the year. Things are going to shift tremendously within our stratosphere. Prediction, introspective, analytical. I am human. I'm not be very clear, I'm not dismissing I am human, because I'm here talking to you right now. So there is an element of a fraction of my consciousness, or i.e. soul, spirit, that is occupying this space, and you're listening to me transmit this through my very words, through my very voice, through my very mouth, right here, right now. It's evident. It's light, wave, particle, matter. Everything slows down because, as it stands, wherever your eyes go, the attention goes where the energy flows, baby. So, 2024, you're waking up. You've either got the worst hangover of your life, or you are banging it like the Sifu up at the AM. I'm swinging at like 4 a.m. We're going to start busting in the exercise programs. Oh, yeah. See if he's going to dust off his old bodybuilding, powerlifting mechanisms that have been dormant for many decades, and I'm going to show you what it takes to throw down some iron up in here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Look, Jade's like, that was the past. Remember, it's just stories. We don't need to go back there. Well, I think she has some pretty traumatic experiences that we worked out many years ago. And so she's sort of going back to the more animalistic perspective that I have on moving weight that she used to also.
I don't mind moving weight in the gym. I just don't want to move a gym.
Right. Yes. Let's be very clear on this one. Yeah. So we have been together a very long time. We have an incredible life, and Sifu definitely integrated some of his old school habits in our relationship over the years. And we've thrown our hat in the ring in the past when it comes to pushing iron. Consciousness can be morphed into all different dimensions. Some of my all-time favorite things to do was taking 315 pounds on a squat and squatting it 64 times. Are you out of your mind, Sifu? Hey, look, that was back in the day. I'm a little bit more conscious right now. Maybe not. I really like it. I don't know. I got to tell you, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite things to do, and understanding the nervous system, understanding how it works. There's so much more to it. So let's start off today, where you're going to change your patterns. Let's get your pen and paper out, and we're going to get you on the banger, right? So Sifu gets up. He starts his day. I start my day very early. I'm up, 3 or 4 every day. I do my practice. That means I check in with my teachers. They give me a directive for the course of the day. I then go about doing my practice with them for a couple of hours. It means escaping dimensions and traveling into a galaxy far, far away. And, just leveling up my sensory perception and developing my skills. And then, of course, then we go into a more physicality sort of aspect. So I go from that, then I go into an exercise regimen. Very simple. Understand this, less is more, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies. Do not be manipulated by the cycle of social media. When you look at a lot of the people that are flexing their physical bodies in social media, it is an illusion. We're going to, part of the way has got to do with the elements of yin and yang and understanding how to maximize your hormonal cascade within the physical body. We're going to go over that. We'll keep integrating that. And anyone who wants to reach out, any OGs, anyone wants to know anything outside of what you perceive as just spiritual stuff and evolution of consciousness, which is really all things, Sifu's a badass in most things when it comes to the human body, the human condition, and then all of the above. Matter, Qi, Shen, Wuji, Tao. So let's get into the exercise. Let's start with this. This is real simple. You want to change your behavior. You start the day. So Sifu gets up on the default new year, not the real new. Our new year is coming up this month. The default new year, 4 a.m., did my practice, went out, did a quick exercise. Exercise this, know this to be true. Do not be dissuaded by, oh my goodness, look at her. She can bounce a dime off her abs and her butt, and she's got this incredible body. There's a lot of delusion here when it comes to exercise. The nervous system is the king of all kings. Consciousness is the king of all kings. This truth teller is going to offset all the alchemical responses in your body. So my prescription for you guys right now, starting a new year, is you're going to exercise 4 to 8 minutes a day, 3 days a week. That's it. What are you talking about, Sifu? What? Man, I brush my teeth. It takes me 8 minutes. What am I going to get out of 8 minutes worth of workout? Trust me. You listen to the Sifu and you're going to get a banging body. You're going to get an incredible increase in strength. You're going to retain your muscle tissue, because when we talk about weight loss, we're not talking about weight loss. We're talking about body fat loss, because it's always good to retain muscle tissue. There's no question about it, okay? So the key is to groom or massage or lubricate the nervous system so it gives you what you want. And what does that do? Well, you optimize the internal alchemy. So we talk about hormone response. When people exercise, the optimal, time frame would be better part of 20 minutes. And, people can say what they want, how they want. Reality is the chemistry, the fundamentals of physiology. Now, you step past, remember, but Sifu, you said if you come from physiology, biology, numerology, neurology, you're limited. Yes, but let's just get this straight. Less is always more. Understand this, know this to be true. Whenever you train with me, you're doing the 126, you're doing anything, you become more concentrated and mastered in what you're doing at a much faster rate. The whole purpose of it is what may have taken you 6 months ago, a certain period of time to acquire that level of consciousness and rein in that energy and draw it in and make it tangible, you can do in seconds after you start practice, right? And so exercise is no different. If you've got a limitation, bring it to me. Whatever it is, and I'll give you the formula, the secret sauce to change that. Limited range of motion, I can't exercise this way, I'm overweight, I'm this, I'm that. All of it is energy, baby, and we have a solution for all of it. We'll give it to you instantaneously. So you're doing 8 minutes 3 times a week, that's it. You're starting today. Well, Walter, if I get up out of my bed and I walk to the bathroom, that's 2 minutes. There you go. You start small and you go up. The key is to put the most amount of pressure on the nervous system for the shortest period of time. And it adapts and becomes more efficient, okay? So when you're doing things that are heavier in their nature, you want to make sure you put a load on the nervous system that gets the response. So we're going to get to nutrition in a minute here, but the nervous system needs to be pushed a little bit. You need to breathe up on the neck there, get behind it and tell it, you are my bitch. Yeah, that's right. You need to get a little more intense. And so to do that, you go a little hard. So what does that mean? It means that, well, I haven't done anything so far. I mean, I've been sitting around listening to your videos, getting high on getting highly conscious. Well, now we're going to tune up a little bit of the physical body because we want it to last. We want you to get the most out of your reincarnation. So when you're pressing up on the nervous system, go hard. So what does that mean? Today, exercise or no exercise, whatever you've done, I want you to go outside, soak up the sun, which is basically you recharging your batteries, and I want you to do 30 squats, body squats. Sifu, I don't even know what a squat is. If you sit in a chair, you've done a squat before. If you have a human body, you've done a squat before. You now need to be reunited, and it feels so good. So that behavior is one great measure of where you are in your own physical starting point, okay? So 30 squats today. That's it.
Is that your 8 minutes, or is that
well, yeah,
part
that
of
I
your
mean,
8 minutes?
more likely than not, if you're not used to it, that's going to take you. You put your timer on. It's going to be your 8 minutes, right? And so right there, I would say create a greater pace and cadence, just to make it a little harder. If you're a little bit more of an OG, you've got more reps behind you, get under a bar or get a kettlebell or something of that nature, because the end goal is to put a more load on the nervous system. That's where you get the most response. And within 8 minutes of doing this, and Sifu's been doing this 40 years, I promise you, you'll get more out of your body fat loss, muscle gain, strength, endurance, just efficiency, generally speaking, than you have ever before, because less is a more. We will repeat that one more time. This is the physical, which is part of the longevity, which is part of, other components of Way 126 that you get into. We have 3, right? Way 126, we have the longevity, and then we have supple, which goes deeper into all movement, qigong, exercise, weight resistance, all that kind of stuff. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to do the squats. That's going to take you 8 minutes. If you're an OG, it might take you a little less, but let's just be safe for that. Then you're going to go and you're going to get out in the sun, get a little bit of sun on your skin, recharge those batteries. Oh, yeah, baby. And then maybe before the week's out, because we're going to check in on this at least once a week from now on our podcast, integrating a little bit more of that physicality component, because a lot of people want that stuff also.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's the first thing you do. You're doing this for 8 minutes. And do you know how quickly you can change your nervous system? Just by recalibrating. I was from a free squat to holding weight to changing your breathing. Everything is affecting your nervous system instantaneously, getting you a result. Ultimately, you want to put the most amount of strain in your nervous system for the shortest period of time, and it will bear the most fruit, and you will get the most results. So you do your squats for 8 minutes, do it 3 times a week, and the goal at the end of this week will be you've done it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and by Friday you're using weight. You should be using weight. If you're not using weight, we need to reassess what you perceive as your reality, because even if you're adding 8 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, you put something together, because that's a natural gait or cycle to squat. If you can't squat, then your body is not operating efficiently. You should be able to naturally squat. Anywhere you go in the world, especially, let's just say China, the basically eastern part of the world, India, China, wherever, people are squatting in the street. They're just sitting there hanging out. And you're like, man, that looks painful. No, that's easy. It's like a primal cycle or gait or behavior that we all have from birth. And we tend to change that because you're playing video games, you're watching TV.
Sitting at a computer.
You're sitting at a computer. So you're training your nervous system. And here's the thing. If anyone tells you it's going to take you a long time to do that, sorry. You can alter your nervous system in seconds. I'll give you an example. I want you guys to try this. If you've got a limitation in your body in relation to an exercise and you're getting little to no result from it, if you're coming into this podcast, I don't care what it is. All I want you to do is listen to me. Get up, go somewhere comfortable, lay on the ground. First thing I want you to do is find the exercise, whatever it is, pressing a bell, swinging, whatever. Do that and go, look, my limitation is this. I can't get this out of it. Then I want you to stop, put it down, get on the ground, roll over, literally roll. What are you saying, Sifu? Roll. Literally roll your whole body over a couple of times. 3 times one way, 3 times another. Get back up, do the exercise. Blammo, reset your nervous system instantaneously. That's how quick it works. And you'll be like, holy moly, I couldn't even squat like a quarter squat. Now I'm getting a full squat because that's what it takes. This is a very basic sleight of hand. Look over here, over here. So this is your exercise. Now you're going to do temperature and time check. So sun, you're going to get some sun. You're going to go out and get some sun. Just get some sun for 5 minutes. Feel what it's like to get sun on your skin. Mm-hmm. Let the receptors seep in. Your self-receptors that are on the dermal layer, which basically is taking in all the information that has the effect of what we've talked about when we come to epigenetic response, is the environment affects the gene expression. All starts from the dermal layer. Okay? So get some sun, and then, take a cold shower for 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Build yourself up. And then over, a couple of days or a week, maybe you go and get a little curious. You want to go down to the local YMCA or wherever there's a cold plunge and start dabbling in that. We'll get a little better with that because part of, internal alchemy, Qigong training is being able to regulate your yin and yang energy at will. And that's the mastery of the 50 trillion cells we speak of, right? So we're going to get you got your 8 minutes squatting progressively, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 minutes apiece. Collectively, oh my goodness, what are we talking about? How many minutes for a whole week, Sifu? 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals
24.
Ooh. Is that correct? I thought it was 32. No, it's 24. Is it? Yeah, it is. So that's your threshold. That's collect, and guess what? It's only going to become more intense and more concentrated, and you're going to be seeing results. You're going to be like, I didn't even try, and I lost like 5 pounds, and I feel amazing. I got energy. I'm getting better sleeps. All this stuff has taken place just from Sifu telling me to do less is more. I've been on the treadmill for 47 hours at a time. I've been eating nothing but chicken and rice and pulling my hair out, and I'm doing anything and everything to conquer this horrible look that I have, because clearly there's something to do with how you feel about yourself. You need to change your appearance. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Understand that's also very humanist. So 8 minutes squats 3 times a week, 5 minutes in the sun, 9 minutes in the sun, 3 times a week, and then 360 to 180 second cold showers, preferably at the end of your shower, not at the beginning. That's your temperature alteration. We're doing yin and yang, and you're starting to maximize your hormonal cascade by this intensity, which starts to promote many things, starts regulating, elevating testosterone, growth hormone, all this good stuff, dopamine, all this good stuff is taking place when you start doing these little things. That's what you're doing 3 times a week. Now, let's get to the food. Let's get to the supplements.
Oh, before we move on. So does someone have to do it in the morning, right when they wake up, or can they do it at their lunch break?
You
or
can do it any time you want, but I promise
at
you,
any time?
you'll become more efficient if you just get up and do it. More than likely, life will take over, and you'll go, I'll get it done tomorrow. Instead of biting the bullet and changing your fractal pattern. This is 2024, baby. You want to change your fractal patterns. Guess how simple this is. Straight away after you listen to this podcast, you do the exercise. Tomorrow when you wake up, do you know how you're going to change your whole day no matter what? No matter what your mindset is? Get out on the other side of your bed. What? Brush your teeth in a different direction.
With a different hand.
What? Get in your car and drive an opposite way to your work that day. You're changing your fractal patterns right there. Right there. That's it. Mm-hmm. Go and do something that you would never have done before. And you instantly shift to change. What are you talking about, Sifu? Well, look, let's just say you're adverse and you've never eaten Chinese food. You don't like it. I've been eating fried chicken and, and chips for the last 20 years. Go and start eating Chinese food. What? What do you mean? Mm-hmm. It's that simple. You are changing behaviors. You don't like talking to people? Go talk to someone. You don't like, or you're not used to. I'm not going to say like. I'm going to say these are behaviors that are ingrained into your very, process of your life. You get up every morning, you start the day with a cell phone. Turn the cell phone off. Don't pick up the cell phone to the end of the day. Little things, anything really, is going to change your fractal pattern. And you're going to realize how quickly your whole life changes, right? Mm-hmm. So now we get to the nutrition. Okay, so the less is more on every aspect, right? So if you have hunger and you're not, at 5 or no, let's be conservative. If you have hunger and as a woman you're not at 20% body fat, or as a man you're not at least 9 to 12%, more likely than not, you have a hunger that is just a fabrication in a simulation in your mind. It's not actually your body needing sustenance because it's going to expire if you don't put food into it. So that has so much to do with a deeper level of, okay, are you insulin resistant? Perhaps. More likely than not, most people don't ever realize they are. I would say in population-wise these days, probably 80 to 90% of the population is insulin resistant to some degree.
Oh, especially Western culture.
Right. And so this comes down to, the foods that you eat, everything from, just the degradation of your cellular function from seed oil consumption that comes in all shapes and forms. If you're eating out in a restaurant, most restaurants, 99% of restaurants, and I go looking for it, the food is blended. Like so you go, oh, I want to eat olive oil. It's got high polyphenols. Oh, it's very anti-inflammatory. It's going to be great. I got to do it. And then you get them, and they're like, oh, yeah, we use olive oil in our salad. And you go, well, do you use seed oil? No. Check, please. They go back to the chef. The chef goes, we use an olive oil blend. I'm like, well, what is an olive oil blend? The blend of canola oil and olive oil. Absolutely redundant. Mind-blowing to me, doesn't make any sense because one is highly inflammatory and one is highly inflammatory. So you have something that will exacerbate and create, disease blended with something that eliminates inflammation. That's what the polyphenols in olive oil is so good. That's why people use it so much. The blends, which makes absolutely no sense. So realize, guys, when you're going out for that 5-star dinner at some banging restaurant, for example, for us, Vegas, and you go and you're paying out bills like Benjamins, like $200, $500, $1,000 on a meal, and you got your family and you're eating the creme de la creme. You're at the best restaurant out there, whether you're eating vegan, whether you're not eating vegan, whether you're eating high quality meats, fruits and vegetables. More likely than not, you are paying for two things that you're going to get a dose of, a really big dose of, is omega-6s, which is highly like inflammatory, right? You will be inflamed to the mofo. The overdose is literally like 30 to 1. The ratio should be 1 for 1, equally. And normally, omega-3s, you should be getting in, three times, 5 times omega-3s, 3 times, 5 times omega-6s, but that's not going on. The average American diet is getting 30, 40 times omega-6s versus omega-3s. Long story short, I'm not going to go into the seed oil sermon, but let's start there. So you go into your banging restaurant, you're eating at some 5-star restaurant here in Vegas, and you're literally eating seed oil. So it's not only creating inflammation, but it is absolutely affecting the function of your mitochondria within the cell. It's degraded. It's actually breaking the cell down. It's making it very inefficient, and it's not functioning properly, which also then leads to things like insulin resistance, where your body is not able to utilize insulin or sugar per se, because insulin is the catalyst that takes the sugar and then shuttles it into the appropriate part of your body that is going to utilize it, right? That's not happening, right? So you go to your 5-star restaurant, you're paying $500. You get all this omega-6 seed oil garbage, canola oil, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff was literally used for industrial machinery. And they discovered, it's selling oil. I mean, it's odorless. It's tasteless. We should use it. We should sell this. And so here we have today an epidemic, obesity, insulin resistance, things of that nature. And so more likely than not, here's another thing, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. You think you're doing your good thing. You're eating your salad out at a restaurant. I'll just have a salad, please. Well, understand this. More likely than not, the salad is not organic. And even if it is, it's probably been exposed to it. But you're getting high levels of Roundup. Roundup is on everything. And they use it to basically control and regulate not losing their money when it comes to producing large crops of whatever vegetable that is that they need to mass produce, i.e. corn and all things of that nature. I mean, corn is like Roundup on steroids, dude. It's like they put it on there. Everything else dies from the Roundup except the corn, and it's deeply implanted into it. That's why people are so adamant about banning, GMOs, genetically modified stuff, because of all these things. Yes, seafood, where did all this come from? Well, your seafood has a very deep understanding of all types of mechanisms, way, way beyond just the inner alchemy and all the other spiritual stuff that we get into on this channel. But let's start there. So you're spending $500. You've got your salad, your food. Let's just say you ordered, some $500 steak at a restaurant. That's not even organic. So, it may taste good, but it's corn-fed. On a much deeper level, that corn is genetically modified with Roundup. So you just spend $500 on a steak that you're poisoning yourself with Roundup, which is affecting your mitochondria. It's affecting your microbiome, which is, your gut flora. So this is ultimately 90% of your function of your immune system comes from your gut. And so then you go and get a salad. I just have a salad. And you're thinking, I've got this great salad. I'm eating all these greens. And I'll just put the dressing on the side. I'll just dip it in. I'll just dip it. That salad is made with probably seed oil, right? So the salad dressing's made with seed oil. The salad itself is not organic, so it's covered in Roundup. So you spend $500 to get poisoned with Roundup. and seed oil. And you're like, say what now? So you need to be more mindful about what you want to do. And even here in Las Vegas, when you're looking at things that are like, even if you're eating meats, there's very few places that sell organic stuff. And even that, what they don't tell you is the organic meat is finished. They call it finished with corn, just to fill it up a little bit. So they feed them supposedly grass for their whole life, and then when just before they slaughter them, they feed them corn, which makes it's like a double negative. It makes no sense whatsoever. So you need to realize, and this is absolutely part of the training, and this is what we do. When you purify and you infuse everything around you, including imprinting your food before, that's why people pray before they eat. It's not just some sort of like corny Hollywood movie where, you got a couple of hillbillies around the kitchen table and they're praying to their mashed potatoes and meat before they eat. When you attune yourself to that frequency, that imprinting, that incantation, that thought form, changes the very essence of the food that you're about to consume and put into your physical body. So the more you refine your skills, the more badass you become at being able to alter that at will, so then you don't fall victim to your environment, okay? So this is something that you need to be mindful of. So let's get down to the get down when it comes to eating. The most efficient, most universal way to repair your physical body is fasting. What? That's ridiculous. That sounds. I can't starve myself. No. Whoa. Understand something. You are not starving yourself. You're becoming more efficient. If you ever look at children are a great example of how efficient the human body is. So if you have a child, or you're a nephew, if you have a nephew, a niece, you're an auntie, your friend has children, observe how they operate. And what happens is, if you see a child get up in the morning, they get up and they start play all day long. They're playing. And then if they don't have a parent that's programmed by, the psyop that's around them within the marketing of the food pyramid, the parent will let them play, and then Johnny will come to, it's like 7 o'clock at night. It's dinner time. Oh, Mom, I'm hungry. And normally the cycle is, well, you should have had breakfast. You didn't want breakfast. You didn't want lunch. You didn't eat it, and now you want dinner. We had dinner 2 hours ago. Now you want to eat. Now you're going to go to bed hungry. And of course, all the child is doing is working on the efficiency of this incredible vehicle, the tuning fork. The body will tell you when it needs food. The body will be very clear, okay? And so if you observe a child, you're seeing the true essence of how the human body should work efficiently. And when it does, you eat when you eat. You don't eat because some, guru told you got to eat 5 meals a day, your macros, your micros, your micros, your macros, your whatever. That is just absolutely a fallacy. And quite frankly, you're getting caught up in it. Now, if you're an athlete, I will debunk the athlete concept that you need 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight. Absolute fallacy. You can become really efficient between 60 to 100 grams of protein a day. How you eat, when you eat, what you eat is all relevant to how you want to perform, whether you're building muscle tissue, strength, performance. We got it all here. Let me know what it is, and I will give you the exact formula that's necessary for you to maximize whatever you're into, whether you're an elite athlete, a novice, you've got a sport, MMA, UFC, whatever the hell it is you're doing. I'll give you the formula that's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think about it. It's like most people don't drive their car, and then whatever gas they use that day, they go and fill it up right away.
Right.
So it's always on full. It's like, no, you use your tank until it goes down to empty, and then the little light comes on, and it's like, you need gas. Okay, I got to fill it up again.
Right.
And it's like kind of the same thing. When you're listening efficiently to your body, and it goes, okay, hey, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten in 12, 14 hours, you're like, okay, I should probably eat something. It's not, you're not eating like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, I have to eat. It's 2 o'clock, I have to eat. It's 4 o'clock, I have to eat. It's 6 o'clock, I have to eat. It's like you should be listening to your body and let that dictate when you eat and what you eat, not a time schedule that you're just clicking off the check of whatever time it is.
No, very good point, Jade. I mean, making yourself really efficient is critical. And so, depending upon what you're doing, ultimately, the ultimate goal as a Taoist, when we get really, and we don't do fasting, and people go, oh, I get fasting so I can get higher levels of consciousness. Sure. It depends on how you perceive your reality, right? Fasting just makes your body more efficient. It makes it work better. And then under a certain
Bless you.
makes it more efficient. And under certain circumstances, what happens is through the cycle of time, because this is an incredible gift from the Tao, that is this physical body, this tuning fork, when you get a certain period of time, you start entering into these repair mechanisms. It's called autophagy. And so your body will start feeding off all the odd and obscure cells and basically churn them out and regulate your system and start working on other things like stem cell production. I mean, there is a variable. It's like the human body is so powerful if you just give it an opportunity to maximize itself. Realize this, okay? So, what the ultimate goal for a Taoist is really one meal every second day. See, that sounds ridiculous, well, dude. When your body starts working properly, and you start using the pure source of all things, which is energy, and then you're using food as sustenance, good quality food, you will want to. And this is, dude. I am on a good day, on a bad day. The lowest I ever got in body weight was when I was a teenager. I was competing in bodybuilding, and I got my body fat down to 4%, and I had a base weight of 187 pounds. I do this all day long. I easily maintain muscle in the ballpark of anywhere between the variables of what I'm doing, 220 to 260 pounds, and trust me, it's not body fat, it's muscle tissue. So how you approach these things is critical to getting the result and making your body efficient. And we can tweak all of that stuff depending upon what your schedule, your lifestyle. The reality is how you eat, what you eat, when you eat is critical. Being efficient for a Taoist, one meal every second day is the sweet spot. And then you become, the energetics take over. This is not conceptual. This is reality. Breatharians are real. And when you know how to use source, you directly access that stuff. And it is reals. So when you're cycling at a certain point, your body will start using autophagy mechanism. Don't be so caught up in how people say there's a certain physiological, semantic, like a turning point. You need to fast 12, 16, 18, 24 hours. There's all these variables. There's experts all over the place telling you, listen, if you create it within your consciousness, that the second you start, fasting, that your body starts becoming more efficient and utilizing, dead cells, irregular cells, all that kind of stuff. It will start to do that very thing, and you won't have to be like caught up in, well, physiologically, it takes 18 hours before autophagy sets in. A fallacy again. We can have this discussion with anyone who wants to pull out the statistics, the papers, the this, the that. You set your consciousness and how your body wants to work efficiently. But know this, that if you're getting hungry, it has everything to do with blood sugar regulation. And what that means it's telling you something that is false in relation to what's actually going on with your body. So the easiest way is you want to have, to start off with this is a new week, new year. You will start with giving yourself a window of time. And this can be progressive. If you've never tried fasting before, you will realize, oh, I don't want to starve. I can't starve. It's not starving. You get more. When you do it properly and we're integrating temperature, heat, and cold, I'll start manipulating your growth hormone levels. You get, increases in excess of, 4,000 times what your growth hormone production is naturally. That includes testosterone. That includes all other markers of biomarkers that will affect nothing but longevity and well-being and health. Testosterone is a big one for guys. I can literally take your worst numbers. If you came to me and went, hey, look, my testosterone is like 300 and I've got a free testosterone of 5, which is a really shocking, scenario. But in most cases, most young men are tipping around these sort of like numbers, which is kind of scary due to environment, frequency, cell phones, food, what you hang out, who you hang out with. It's all affecting these variables. Now, you want to get your testosterone, I'll jack it up 3 times. I'll have your test levels at 1,000 to 1,500 naturally without taking anything, any hormone replacement, anything of that nature, and you won't have a side effect, which will have that negative feedback loop, which takes on this whole other beast when you're putting synthetic stuff into this temple, this physical body. So all these things can be varied. All these things can make your body more efficient, make you more efficient, make you a super human, because that means that you're just human, and you will take your internal alchemy to a whole nother level. You're doing all the stuff that we train you in, Qigong, deeper understandings of what we call absorbing the riches, and then you're now applying nutrition. So, okay, Sifu, so where do I start with the nutrition? What do I do? Just start with a meal, get a window of time. I would suggest that you make it easier on yourself and give yourself comfortably 4 to 6 hours. I mean, for people that are really afraid, they've never done this before, give yourself 8 hours. That means from the first meal you eat to the last one is 8 hours. Then every day, chop an hour off. Ultimately, the goal is to get down to a meal a day and then a meal every other day. Now, that could take you a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It depends on where you're at in your own reality. But I promise you'll have more energy, you will sleep better, and you will be more efficient than you ever have been in your life. And this is the side effect where people freak out and go, this doesn't even make sense to me. Well, that's what this incredible tuning fork is all about. And so start with that. Start with an 8-hour window, and over the first week, just give yourself 8 hours a day. If you've never done it before, if you've done it before, maybe take 6, and then you go down to 4, and then you go down to 2, then you give yourself 1, and it's a progressive thing. There is no time frame. It's not like let's get this done in 5 minutes, but it's a new year, new week. You got your training. You got your temperature training, being hot and cold. You have your spiritual consciousness stuff, which can be anything from the Way 126 to all the tools and stuff that we offer, to just taking a minute and,
listening to this podcast.
Yeah, listening to this podcast. So you have your spiritual training, you have your exercise training, you have your nutrition, right? The fasting is the most efficient, right? So give yourself an 8-hour window and then chop it down. Your body will become more and more efficient. Your liver will become more and more efficient. The biggest side effect most people have in this day and age is a non-alcoholic fatty liver. What? See, what? Because you're smashing yourself with these omega-6 fatty acids. You're smashing yourself with basically the seed oil, which basically makes you more insulin resistant. So it's not just that, let me just do a keto diet and I'm just eating fat. Dude, you're still going to see the side effects. I promise you this. And the more you become, your liver becomes more efficient, then you become more insulin sensitive. And so it doesn't matter what it is. If you're eating meat or you're eating fruits and vegetables, everything is insulinogenic. That means that it has an insulin response. It may not be as dramatic as, fructose or processed sugar. And ultimately, the goal is to get away from any processed sugar of any kind, because that's not going to help. You want to have a little treat, it's once a year, it's my birthday, I want to, a couple of scoops of, cheesecake or whatever it is, go straight ahead. But the more and more efficient you become, the more and more you'll realize that's poison. And so, if you're drinking alcohol, sure, the side effect, again, you want to turn water into wine, remember this. All these tools are tools for you to use. If you believe that you have an issue with drugs and alcohol, then it's how you perceive your reality. They're all tools that you've used at a certain point to get to where you are. What do? When they don't become of any use, you stop using them. They're not your identity. Always remember this, guys, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. Whatever tool you're using, the food, the exercise, the drugs, the alcohol, they're just tools to level up your consciousness. And so the less you identify as them, the faster you become more efficient at using them. And then when you don't need to use them, you don't use them anymore. Because people, they're big on the plant medicine, they're big on the mind-altering drugs. These are all tools that you need to use to get you where you need to go. And when they're no longer of any use, they're no longer of any use. But I promise you, through all the things that we teach you within the metaphysics, within the universe, the consciousness, and then, the physicality, the nutrition, all these other things, all Taoist practices integrated into what we call absorbing of the riches, you'll be one badass mofo. And so let's start there. You've got the exercise, you've got the nutrition, you've got the hot and cold temperature stuff. These are all beginning of a brand new year. You're changing your fractal patterns. All you got to do is just change your fractal patterns. We've talked about this before. What does this mean, Sifu? I didn't catch it the last time. Well, your whole life is made up of a fractal pattern. That's what's going on. This is a cycle of events that take place in your life that keep repeating themselves only because you continue to feed into the same vortex, right? And so if you just continue down your path doing the same things, you will repeat the same things. It's just like epigenetics is you are a product of your environment. Your thoughts can change your switch on and off your genes with your thoughts alone. This comes from your environment. So, most people are like, well, it's a new year. Don't hang around negative people. Wipe them out of your life. Again, that is a mistake. You don't want to erase your personality. You don't need to erase your family and friends. Understand that if they're repeating a certain behavior, you adjust to be in an environment with those people if you choose to or not. As you increase your frequency, they will either draw to you or draw away from you. And that doesn't mean that you have to erase people from your existence because they're bad juju and they're projecting bad stuff. The more you master yourself, you realize that you become bulletproof and that you are me, I am you. What are you afraid of? The more you fill yourself out and become whole, wu-wei, effortless action, everything is fluid, magnetic fluidity, this stuff will be realized. Okay? So, what I need from you guys is to follow the exercise, follow the nutrition, follow the hot and cold temperature, follow changing of behavior. Get out on the other side of the bed, drive a different way to work, brush your teeth in another hand. All these things are huge when it comes to shifting and changing. This is a new year. We're going to keep coming back to these. And these are going to be fast changes, guys. And then you probably, from your perception of exercise and nutrition, you've had a big change in how you see things just from listening to what I said today, because most people don't even get it. Don't be so caught up in the macros and the micros. When you become more efficient, eat well, eat good, and it won't matter how many calories you're eating. And if you're using nutrition for a certain athletic sort of performance, then we adjust that for that. But again, it doesn't vary much from, the eating behavior. I promise you. And so, the more efficient you get, the more efficient your body is, the more efficient your mind is, the more efficient your truth is. And 2024 is going to be a banger.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's important for people to just take those little steps and implement them the way that it works for your lifestyle and your your own personal experience, and watch how that just changes and affects it in such a positive way. And it's like, if you're tired of watching the same movie over and over and over again, you got to change the movie.
Right.
You can't watch it and expect a different outcome. It's like, no, you make a change. You change that movie into something else that you want to watch, and all of a sudden, guess what? It happens. That fractal pattern will change into what you want to see.
Right. And you are the master keeper creator of that. And it's altered instantaneously. There are no exceptions to the rule. So 2024 is about change, which every year it is. This is what people go on about. Latsu made a great message, an indicator of what's going on, how the vibration, the frequency of the sun is really ramping up, which brings more consciousness, right? And that can come in all forms. Don't be caught up in the doom and gloom. I hate to be a spoiler alert, but that's not going to happen. You're going to be like, oh, bummer. I wanted the apocalypse. I wanted, death and destruction. What was that? I think Latsu had it like death, destruction, fear, rinse, wash, repeat. Same behavior. This is a humanist simulation, which makes you so much in yourself. When you really believe you are the universe, it doesn't matter, because you're all things. So moving into our new year, our new year is the year of the dragon, badass, right? There's a lot of people I know that are dragons, but in more in a deeper level, when you understand you are the universe is you are all animals. So that means when we talk about the constellations, when we talk about the zodiac signs and all things in that nature, these are all, you are everyone. So what does that mean? Sifu, what does that mean? It means that every day is a good day to be you. Every year is a good year to be you. And that you are able to adopt the traits and all the benefits of each sign at will. That's a very powerful concept, but it's not. That's the true nature of you. And so what that means is, what does that mean? Cherry picking? You want to call it cherry picking. Basically, you're all things. So if you're all things, that means take a look at every single sign for the year, pick out all the badass stuff out of every single sign, and realize all that is happening to you right now, because you're operating in all dimensions at once, and everything that you want to manifest, magic, healing, will materialize instantaneously. Right? Instantaneously.
Absolutely. And it's always, every year is always an amazing year. It's just another category of a way to look at that point in time,
Right.
and verify, okay, this was a point in time.
Right.
But that's all it is. I mean, time and space are endless. So it's just another number that goes tick, 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 tick.
Pretty much. And
Everything is good. There is no, this was a bad year, this was a good year. Every year.
and the people that argue the duality are the ones that stay there. That's fine. Stay there. You can be a dualist all day long. And with that, you will simulate the same thing. Good, bad, bad, good, bad. And most people are like, you cannot be whole if with the good you don't see the bad with the good. Sorry. The universe is abundant, timeless, endless, limitless, infinite. And you are the mofo. If you are the universe, you create whatever you want. If I want to sit in a high frequency all day, every day, Sorry, every day I want to produce, a bank account that's so fat I can't even count the zeros, and all I want to do is spend every day doing whatever the hell I want, then that's exactly what you're going to do. The universe will give it to you. It does not have a moral compass. It is instantaneous. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions, put it out there, it equals to or greater than, materialize, knowing that all things are happening at once. All this is going on in all dimensions, and that's part of the mastery of Qigong. When you realize that you can operate constantly, bringing in the 3D reality from higher dimensional shifts, and that's how you're able to manifest, heal, magic immediately. And that's just a mastery. That's just a sweet spot. It's all frequency, baby. And so, incredible 2024 is coming for all of us. Oh, seafood, they told me the world is going to end. It's going to be the destruction of this, that, something else. I'm so sorry to be a spoiler alert. You are the master keeper, creator of your reality, and you can do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want, however the hell you want. And it all comes from you refining your skills, your sensory perception. That's what we do here. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You take that. Use the Way 126, use the products, use whatever it is that you need. Listen to this podcast, follow a little bit of our insight, and level up your reality, because it's going to be awesome for you. Anything you can think of, your imagination is the seed to your reality, and it can create all things, and your sensory perception is exactly that. So, I think we went over a lot.
Yeah, and some good advice just to get you jump started and ready and feeling good for moving forward.
Banger. So, in closing, Divine Delectable High Priestess Jade, have any thoughts, feelings, and emotions you want to share with the audience before we wrap this up? And we're just going to do a breather banger for 2024. At the end, the exercise is quite simple. We all the OGs, anyone who's watched this channel, your dantians are starting to amplify. Your sensory perception is starting to. Me talking about this, of course, what happens? Oh, my goodness, we can feel the energy. Yes, we can, because we're highly tuned. This is your skill set. This is your mastery, guys. You can do anything. And you'll hear me once, and boom, like just me talking about it, what's the chances? My goodness, the energy is up here. I'm starting to feel it through my body. I'm getting a little bit of hot and tingling and all the rest of it. That's your sensory perception, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. We have got a lot of things coming in. So anything you want to close out with a great start to 2024?
Yeah, and I think that take this advice and use it as advice and use it as a blueprint if you need one. And just watch the transformation. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So just tweaking and changing a little bit of energy, creating a higher frequency, as we always say, it's the feeling. You're going to feel it. All of this is to get you to evoke that feeling.
Blammo. And so, without any further ado, let's just tune up our dantians. All I'm going to do is get you to breathe in and out through your mouth. Breathe in for 3, out for 6. You just follow it. You're going to feel it. And then the final breath, we're going to do that actually 9 times. And then the final breath, we're going to hold it. I'm going to count to 9 and let that express itself through your energy centers. And it's just going to create a nice frequency, a nice vibration. And these are always starting points for, more detailed out-of-body stuff as you become more mastered in your feeling. You can start doing this at will with your eyes open, and freak people out like your uncle at the last Thanksgiving where he was sleeping with his eyes open like this. And you're like, holy shit, Uncle Eddie is asleep. He's in another dimension.
That's
dude.
what you do.
Yeah. And you're like, whoa, that guy's freaking me out. He just finished his mashed potatoes, but he's been snoring for the last 10 minutes. Yeah. Alrighty. So, eyes open or closed, close a sense, add a sense, however you want to start this process off. But let's get going with this. We're breathing through upper, middle, and lower dantian, all being realized at once. Just as I say it, it starts to percolate. So you're starting to feel that pressure but in those energy centers. Now, like I said, we're breathing in and out 9 times. In the mouth, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. And the final breath, when I tell you at the exhale, you hold it for 9 and then express itself. And without any further ado, and breathe in. Last one. Hold it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Oh, yeah, baby. Welcome to 2024. My goodness. That feels amazing. Attuning yourself, anyone listening in the distance or present right now, stay where you are. Immerse yourself in that expression of your frequency and that attunement. And I am your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.